A lot of people venture into farming without finding out what it entails, just because they look at the rosy aspect of it and also not getting the much needed information before venturing into the business. Yes, farming is a very lucrative business, and one advantage of farming is that there is always food on the table outside the profit. But in this video, I'm going to explain in details what you need to know before you venture into poultry farming, and I'll be very happy if you watch this video from the beginning to the end. If this is your first time of coming across my video, please kindly help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget to give this video a like, share, and drop your questions in the comment section. Before you start farming business, the first thing you should do is to understand what poultry farming involves. If you don't understand this point from the beginning, you'll miss it. Poultry farming simply means raising domestic birds, which are mostly meat, which are mostly broilers, which are known for meat production. You also have the layers, which are known for eggs production. There's also this dual purpose breed, which is called some people call it noelas, while some people call it corellas. So these ones, they lay eggs and they can also be used as meat production too. But each one has their own different management and different needs. Take for instance broilers. Broilers are raised mainly for meat and they have a short cycle of between 6 to 8 weeks. If you raise your broilers above 8 weeks, there's every tendency that your profit will diminish. Then for layers, they are raised for egg production and they are known for longer cycle, maybe 18 months or more. Then you also have the cockerel. These cockerels, they are another breed of poultry birds that have slower growth, but the one thing about them is that they are hardy and profitable, mostly in the rural markets. And another aspect is the breeders. The breeders, they are used for hatching of the eggs, and these breeders farming system, it requires a kind of advanced management, so it's not something that you can just wake up and start doing. Like the broilers, layers, cockerels, you can do that, but you see, the breeders is something on another level. It's another school entirely. So before you choose one, you have to decide what you want. First and foremost, do you want quick money? If you want quick money or quick returns, then you go for the broilers. But if you want a kind of a long-term income, which is over the years, then you go for layers. Those are the two. Then after you've decided on what to do now, the next thing you have to think of is location and housing. First and foremost, you have to choose a location, and in choosing your location, you should put in mind that one of the things that you should put in mind is that it should be far from residential areas, and this is due to the smell and to be able to control disease. Then it should also be accessible. Being accessible is that when you need to bring your feed, sometimes trucks or vehicles will bring a feed and other supplies to you, to the farm. It should also be accessible for your customers as well. Then you should have a good drainage, and it should not be waterlogged, because if people comes to your farm and the place is waterlogged, they wouldn't want coming. Let me give you example of the tips that you will need if at all you want to construct your house. The face of the poultry houses should be east-west to reduce heat, but this is not a challenge, because now there is a way that you can construct your house even if it is not east-west direction. There is what we call feathers or flyers that is being built to extend to give them extra shade that will also prevent the east-west, because if your land is not in east-west, that means you will not build your poultry house. No, there are better ways to do it. You should ensure that there is good ventilation and lighting, and also you should use deep litter, that is wood shavings or battery cages for layers. Each has their own advantages and disadvantages. When you are building your house, you should build with materials that are very easy to clean and easy to disinfect. That is something that you should know. Let's go to the third one, which is water and feed. These are the two biggest factors in success if you at all you want to succeed. The water must be clean, cool, and available at all times. Dirty water will definitely cause disease to your birds. Then the feed, you need to buy feed from trusted source, or you can also learn how to formulate feed. But as a beginner, you don't need this. Just go and get good quality feed, because if you have poor quality feed, you will definitely have poor growth and poor egg production. For broiler starter, what you just need, the feed that you need is starter and finisher. Some persons will say you use grower, but I don't use grower for broilers. I goes from starter straight to finisher. Then if you are to raise layers, you use shake mash. From shake mash you enter grower mash. From grower mash you enter layer mash. Let me tell you a secret here. For me, the first 1 week, if I'm raising laying beds, the first 1 week I give them starter because of the high protein, so that they can at least grow faster, before I will now start giving them shake mash. Then from shake mash I switch to grower mash, then layer mash. Then one important tip is that you should make sure that you store your feed in a dry place and protect it from rats, mold, and other rodents. Then the fourth point that you should know is about the day old chicks. You have to start with healthy, well vaccinated chicks from a reputable hatchery, because if you get poor quality chicks, this will lead to losses. Even with good feed and the best management you give to them, you will still have mortality. You must make sure you get your chicks from good, reputable hatchery. Once the chicks arrive, you have to keep them in a brooder house to keep them warm for the first 2 to 3 weeks, and the temperature should be between 32 to 35 degrees Celsius for the first week, and it reduces gradually. And you have to provide 24-hour light for easy access to feed and water. Then the fifth point is health management. Diseases can wipe out your flock overnight if you are careless. So the key practices that you should do is to follow a vaccination schedule for diseases like Newcastle, Gumboro, Marek, and others. Then you also need to keep a biosecurity plan whereby no strangers is allowed to enter the farm. There should be a restricted area to avoid disease outbreak. Then you have to disinfect equipment regularly and wash out for symptoms, most especially diarrhea, coughing, dropping wings, and some others. Then any bird that you notice that is sick, you have to isolate the bird immediately. And do not forget to have a local vet or extension officer that will come, that you can call in cases of emergency. Now let's go to the financial aspect of it. You cannot just jump in without calculating your cost and possible returns. And this is where some people get it wrong. When they calculate their returns, they see the kind of profit they will be making, they get overwhelmed, and they end up carrying a huge number of birds, forgetting that when you carry birds of 200, the first 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they won't consume much feed. But as they grow older, the more feed they consume. And if you don't plan for this, you end up being unable to feed your birds, and it will affect them. So you must make your calculations and work with what you have. So you must make budget for the land and the housing. You must make budget for the chicks. You must make budget for feed and drugs. Then the labor and some utilities such as water, electricity. And the bottom line I want to tell you is to start small. Learn as you start small, then you can now expand. Do not use act of greed or say that the profit is too small, you want more profit. Then you now go and carry what you are unable to feed or cater for. This is a wrong move. Many people fail because they start big without experience. Then the seventh point is record keeping. If you want to succeed in poultry farming, you must write down everything, from the feed you use per day, per week, down to the mortality, which is the dead birds, up to the vaccines and the drugs that we're giving, then down to the sales and expenses that you incur. This will help you to know your profit. We also help you to know your loss and areas that you need to improve on. You don't have to wait until your birds are ready before finding the buyers. You have to plan ahead. There's one big challenge that you will encounter, which is waste management. In all, you must think about the waste. Whether you are doing poultry, whether you are doing fishery, you must have a waste management plan. The chicken dropping smells a lot, and they are also a very good and excellent source of manure. So sometimes you sell or you use it for crops, but you have to handle it properly to prevent flies and diseases. Then the 10th point is to learn continuously. You see, a lot of farmers fail because they refuse to take into consideration new ideas. Try as much as possible to visit existing farmers, join online poultry forums or local associations so that you can get information. These are the points that you need to know before you start poultry farm. Now let me tell you a common mistake that most beginners make in poultry farming. Number one is that they buy cheap chicks or feed in order to save cost. You must avoid this. Then two, they ignore vaccination or hygiene. They will tell you that I've given them one dose, so there is no need giving them a second dose. That is a wrong practice. Don't try it. You must give them the first dose and you must give them the booster dose. Then the third point is that most people, they start too big without experience. The fact that you have the money does not mean that you will start huge. Start small first to gain the experience. Then when you gain the experience, you now grow in it. Then another thing that makes most farmers fail is not keeping farm records. Farm records will tell you where you are, your strength and your weakness. So make sure to keep farm records no matter how small your beds are. I believe you got tangible information from this video. Please help me to grow my channel by clicking the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon, give this video a like, drop your questions in the comment section and share for others to benefit. Thanks.